MNSpiritCast. Hope everybody's having a great night. I'm here with Casey. His his video isn't working, so you're just gonna hear his voice tonight. But we have a good show planned for you guys. I am virtual tonight, so apologize about that, but still a good show for you guys. Right before one of our awesome investigations, so we get the double package tonight. I want everybody to welcome Ashley for the first time to the show. This is Ashley's first show and Ashley's debut on Minnesota Spirit Hall. So welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited for the hunt tonight. Think it's gonna be real good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We get the whole package tonight: podcast and investigation. So we have a great investigation tonight. But aside that, tonight we are virtually in the state of New York, and this is a big one for a lot of people because apparently the state's very haunted, and we're going to learn all about the hauntings of New York tonight. So I want everybody to welcome Shannon Collins, aka Velma. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for
Welcome.
joining the show.
Sure.
We, you're very slow. Yes, so volume is low because can you guys hear me pretty good or no?
Yeah.
Uh, you're a little underwater sounding.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it at a good volume because it is echoing. I'm in the same room as Casey, so
Yep.
there's a little bit of a interference there. But anyway, Lurker is here, and we haven't seen him in a while, so welcome. Hope you're feeling well. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, so we're here tonight with Shannon, and we're going to talk about paranormal in the state of New York. And I hear this state is very haunted, and we're going to learn all about it tonight. So, first of all, why don't we start a little bit about how you got started associating yourself with the paranormal field?
So I've had experiences since a very young age. And when I got older, I had a crazy experience with some friends at a location here on Long Island called the Normandy Inn. I don't believe it exists anymore. I think they knocked it down.
Okay.
Um, I had never been there before, and I was getting this woman's name, and I started feeling like I was being strangled. And then I started seeing images as if I was looking through her eye.
Oh, wow.
And so I felt like I was absolutely insane. And I wound up contacting a group on the island and telling them my experience because I had found that story on their page and it matched what I had felt. So they invited me to come for an interview. Um, and I've been in the group ever since. And that was almost 13 years ago.
Looks like Marcus is having some microphone issues. That is an excellent way to get started. Having an experience and not knowing what's going on, and then finding there's other people like you, and that's a valuable experience and a valuable way to be. So I'm sure it was scary as hell at the time, but
It was for sure. I I felt that way for a while. I wasn't sure what was going on, and around that time, their website had been up for a few years, so I had been on it on and off, but looking to join as a member, not really looking into their stuff. I don't know. It was a cool experience to be accepted by a network of people and being able to share that with them and not feel so nuts.
absolutely.
Very interesting. Now, a lot of people, when they deal with the paranormal, it's because they've had some type of connection with the other side since they were, since they were little, because they had experiences. It's all about curiosity and things like that. So, did you ever, did working with the paranormal kind of peak off of experiences from your childhood, or did you have any experiences in your childhood?
Yes, it started when I was young. My first experience that I remember off the top of my head, I was around 7 years old, and I had something come into my room when I had woken up in the night, and I was definitely awake. I definitely had a hard time going back to sleep after that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the earliest one that I remember, and then had gone on throughout the years. And then after being told for a while that it's just your imagination and stuff, you start to feel nuts. So I kind of stopped sharing it. But when I got to around 17, 18 years old, it started becoming really, really strong again. And then in my early 20s is when I went with my friends and then contacted the group.
Sure. Wow. Okay. And do you have any gifts, like any mediumship or sensitive or anything like that?
Yes, I'm a medium in the group.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, you're with Long Island Paranormal Investigators, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and how long did you say you've been with the team?
I've been with the team for almost 13 years,
Oh, wow.
and the team has been around for 20.
Okay. So you've been with them for quite a while. Of course, you've probably seen some crazy, phenomenal stuff in the
Yeah.
field. Uh, we've been with this team. I opened this team 3 years ago, and I can't tell you the amount of things that we've seen. So you being with the team for 13 years, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things. What is the craziest thing you've ever seen on an investigation?
The craziest thing I've seen or the craziest thing I've experienced?
Let's go with experience.
Hmm.
Okay. So I actually just came out with a book last year of poetry based on automatic writings I got from a spirit attachment after investigating a house in Southampton, Long Island. It was a house of one of the settlers that came over there from Lynn, Massachusetts, but originally from England. And it was a doozy. It scared the crap out of a lot of people, and I still have it today. That was the craziest experience I've ever had.
Okay. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
I had a great question for you. I just completely had a brain fart just now.
Ah, well,
Don't even
I'll
remember.
jump in while you think about it. So, New York, being one of the oldest states in the Union, got hundreds of years of back capacity for spirits. Uh, I imagine after 15 years, you've met a lot of folks that have passed on. Is there any one spirit or one contact or that really sticks with you as abnormal or not your run of the mill? Like we would think of normal spirits, the Victorian haunting woman in a white flowing dress. Anything that really bucks that trend?
Yeah, there's been a few. We had a case in Babylon, Long Island. We have permission from the homeowner to talk about it, but I'm not going to mention their names still.
Sure.
Um, there was a homicide on the property, and they were having activity prior to that happening, but it enhanced and got really crazy after that happened. So they
Mm-hmm.
called us in just a few months after. I didn't know anything about it, but that was a fresh case and a newer age spirit. I guess that's what you're asking. And if you're not asking that, if I've seen anything that's not like a ghost, at Sag Manor, I saw the weirdest thing, and I don't even know if it was my imagination. Like that's how weird it was. Um, but it looked like a body, but its legs bent the opposite way.
No, my.
I didn't like that. but it was
No,
really
that's
quick. And like I said, so I don't know if it was my, but still, that's how I saw it. So
Hmm.
gotcha. Yeah, that was the question I was asking.
okay, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay, so first of all, what I would like to do is let's start with your team. Of course, you guys, do a lot of work for the field. What all do you guys contribute to an investigation? Do you do cleansings of houses? Do you do like just a standard investigation, or what all do you guys do?
So we will start with just a regular investigation, and then if they do want a cleansing or something like that, we will do a cleansing. We don't charge for our services, um, or anything like that. So it's sometimes the investigation, as you guys know, as investigators, it's not just a one night thing. You're going for a period of time to gather evidence and stuff like that. So
Sure.
depending on the size of the home or location, that's how we determine the size of the team. And we're a scientific based team, not a spiritual based team. So we all still use equipment and all that other stuff. We take field reports. So we'll
Okay.
take our data from the weather, the moon phase, what equipment was used that night, what the team was there, if there was any equipment hits, personal experiences, if they got EVPs or anything like that. Everything is kept in record, whether or not it's a house investigation or just a funsy investigation with just the team.
Hmm. Okay. Very cool.
Gotcha.
So the reason I ask is because with this season of our show, I want if somebody's having an issue in each state, we're doing state by state this whole season. And if somebody's having issues, I want them to know there's somebody who can come out, they can help with their services, and just generally overall help with everything they need. So the reason I asked that and a little bit about your investigations is so everybody knows how it'll go, what you guys will take care of, what you'll do, things like that. So next I want to talk about you guys like before our investigations. Most of them I like to do a walkthrough to go in, talk to the client, see what's going on. We'll have a three-part investigation type thing. We'll go in for a meeting, first of all, to see what's going on. Then we'll go through a walkthrough with the rest of the team so we can see, where we're going to keep our base for equipment and things like that, and then the investigation. So with that being said, do you guys have a pre-investigation process that you have to take care of?
We do. So they contact us. We send them a questionnaire, and that will kind of show you who's serious about wanting an investigation and who just didn't watch a horror show and thinks it's going to be fun to have a team come in.
Yes.
Um,
Sure.
so we send the questionnaire, they'll send it back. We send other forms to be filled out as far as deeper questions. I'm not going to get into because there's like a million questions that they ask, but
Yeah.
it gets into like pets, size of the home, drug use, all the stuff. Um, and then they'll send it back to us. We put together a team. We go. Um, the sensitive psychics in a group, they don't know the case information
Sure.
and they do not go in for a walkthrough.
Okay.
They wait
But the
outside.
rest of the team does.
Rest of the team goes in while they're setting up and stuff. The psychics will go on the property and see what they could get on outside property, and then they'll go inside and see what they feel inside after.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go over it with the client prior, just a quick rundown, and then they'll do a full-on report after.
Okay. So that's basically the entire process. I love that because it's always good to be organized for an investigation. If there's some teams that go to investigations, and I'm not calling anyone out, but it's just there's no organization within the investigation, then everything gets lost. You don't know what you've done already or what you have to do or anything like that. So it's always good to have a process, which we do. It sounds like you guys do. So that's pretty cool.
That is why I'm writing the field guide.
Yes. So Ashley is working on a guide for paranormal investigators to help them with their experience, right? I don't know all about it, but you know.
Yeah, it's just baseline for processes and procedures that will give you a good foundation for a successful, uh, non-muddy investigation.
Hmm.
I think that's great because I think that's probably one of the number one questions I always hear at a lot of the conventions when people ask questions, or just in general. It's how would I get started if I wanted to get started? What do I need to do? So I think that's a great thing to do.
Hmm. Hmm. And at the end of each show, I like to ask, and I'm saying this now so you'll know how the end of the show will go, but I like to ask each of our guests what's a good piece of advice for a newcomer. Because we're all about helping, not only clients, but we also want to help our fellow investigators, and all that. So I think the guide's going to be good, and it'll be like a good tool for an investigator. Um, so my next question for you: what makes New York a hotspot for paranormal? If somebody wanted to come to New York to investigate paranormal, what makes New York good for that?
I think it's just, well, it's very old.
Yes.
It's got a lot of history. There's been a lot that's happened in New York and on Long Island that people don't realize.
Hmm.
Um, even Battle of Long Island during the American Revolution and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So that was right in Setauket, I believe. Um, then you have the Native American history. They were there for tens of thousands of years before, the settlers came over and took land that they shouldn't have taken.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't feel
absolutely.
comfortable saying it any other way. But I'm not a. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that also because it's such a mixture of culture and stuff like that, it just breeds different energy, and I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why.
So, I imagine New York. It's huge. It doesn't. When I first came to Minnesota, I didn't know how big Minnesota was. But a state is a hell of a lot bigger than you think it is, and I imagine it. New York is an example of that, and New York is big. Now, I imagine you guys haven't been all over the state investigating, but I mean,
Give us Lippy's long list of local lost living locations.
thank you. That works.
Um, that would be very hard because we have investigated all over the island. Um,
Gotcha.
we do have a list on our website of the places that we've investigated, with the site history and paranormal history,
Ah.
um, both in New York and out of New York. So I think like some of the craziest places are the places that have some of the oldest history, and I don't know why that is. And I don't know if also it's, if you think of like the renovation theory, and I don't know if you guys call it the same thing, but like when you're working or building or something and can stir up activity. Long Island and New York is constantly knocking things down and rebuilding and working on things. So I think that can also draw, more energy and spiritual activity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I keep going back and forth. It's been a long day, guys.
It's all good.
I get it. It's gonna be a long night for us as well. So no, it's totally fine.
I don't know. I'm kind of jealous of you guys. That seems like you're gonna have fun tonight.
It, I'm not gonna give too much away because everybody will be able to watch this in early April. But it's a haunted attraction. I got the pleasure to be a actor on this haunted trail, and just working on the trail throughout the month of October. I was only there for 2 days a week, and the activity was phenomenal. There's a house that we're doing, and there's a trail that we're doing, and it's going to be interesting. And a lot of these people that are going with me tonight haven't been there, so I think you're in for a treat. So it's
Very
going to be
cool.
fun. So, and you say you're at a paranormal convention right now. I mean, seems like a lot of conventions are coming up. All throughout the United States. So there's a lot of leadway with paranormal right now. It's a very underrated thing with a lot of people, I think, but I don't think it gets enough attention that it should.
The
You know,
paranormal?
yes.
Yeah. I think it gets enough attention. I think it just doesn't get taken as seriously as it should.
Right, right. Because
You
there's a
know?
lot of people out there, who they're non-believers or they're skeptics, and that's okay. We can't change their opinion. All we can do is do what we do, and I look at it like helping the clients and everything. But basically, all we are to a lot of people is weirdos that talk to nothing. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who came to me and told me, it's weird that you investigate the paranormal, but it is what it is. And I think you're right. It doesn't get enough attention, and that's why there's a lot of people who doesn't know the resources that they have. So that's the whole reason, I wanted to do the season like we're doing it, so everybody knows there's somebody out there that can help, So, but I agree with
Right.
Carlos here. He says, you note down and see what the results was from an investigation. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Documentation is key.
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I was looking at the bottom of the screen. So, we definitely document it, and what the founder of the group, Mike, is trying to do is create a database um, of the locations where you can see the trend of activity, and so you can kind of pinpoint when activity is at its highest, if there is activity, and then it should give you a percentage of paranormal activity.
Find hot spots and stuff.
Exactly.
Super cool. Hmm.
Yeah, I know there's a few different groups here in Minnesota. I imagine with the density of Long Island and just New York in general, there's a few different groups rolling around. Do you collaborate with them? I would think having a database put together by several different groups would really help fill out that heat map. But I know some
We
places are a little iffy about working with other groups and
well, we don't mind working with other groups at all.
right on.
Um, we have a decent sized team, so it wouldn't be something that we would collab with where we would need to call somebody in to come to help on an investigation. But if we were doing like a regular outside investigation, or we wanted to go do a bigger location or just meet up for fun, it would be something that we were definitely into. And if they needed us to come help them, we would be into it too. There is a team, NYPI, New York Paranormal Investigators. They're, I believe, a newer team, and we just started working with them on some things. So that's kind of exciting.
Right on. At least to coordinate so you don't run into each other in the middle of
That's true
an
too.
abandoned building.
It's happened. Yeah.
Nagging pretty bad over there, Ashley.
Huh?
You're nagging pretty bad over there.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's like you're talking, but we can't see you talking.
Oh, really?
So.
Oh, I can.
Really?
Oh, it's Mark.
It's me?
Might be. I can see everyone as they're talking.
Except Casey, yeah. Casey is just here.
Yeah.
Here, so.
Yeah, I'm here, but I can see you just fine.
I don't know. I'm on my phone tonight. I always do them on my laptop, so a little different for me tonight. But it is what it is because we're at the hotel right now. But so I don't know. I had questions for you. I just can't remember what I was going to ask you because I've been planning it out. So.
Oh no, documentation. Got to write them down.
I don't know. I apologize. I'm just like.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize.
Well, I can keep asking goofy stuff if that helps.
Well, actually, here's a couple things for you. One thing in oh, I'm getting hugs over here, free hugs. This is Raina. This is my little
Hello.
butthead Raina. So here's a subject for basically any investigator. What is your take on debunking everything from an investigation? Let's say that you and your team are in a asylum doing an investigation, and you guys hear a big crash, and you can't figure out where the source of the crash was. How do you guys go about debunking that? Do you feel it's an important thing to do on an investigation?
It's always important to try and find the source of the activity. Otherwise, you're not investigating. Um, I feel like at that point, there's a difference between. I won't get into it. I won't get into it. I won't say it. Okay. So I don't want to be controversial. Yes, you should always debunk. And if so, in your situation, yeah, if you heard a big loud crash sound in an asylum and you're supposed to be there alone, you're gonna go look for what fell.
Yes.
Here's the thing,
Or run
though.
the other direction.
Are
Right.
you making sure first that the building that you're going in is in good standing condition? Are you walking around each and every room to make sure that you know that every little piece of rubble that is there has fallen or whatever, that everything is stable so that when something does happen, that you're able to go in there and say, oh yeah, that beam fell, or oh yeah, that rock was thrown from here to here. Unless you have everything on camera, it's going to be hard to debunk either way. And then you go with Occam's razor, right? So you're going to try and get them to do it again. If it doesn't happen again, I'm going to say that was probably the building, because
Yeah.
it'll happen later on. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't happen on command, or if it doesn't happen within that time frame of you. I hear myself talking, so it's freaking me out. I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on, but normally there's not a lot of echoing, so I don't know what's going on tonight. But
Exactly what you've said. I've got a chapter for in the field manual. Knowing your location, knowing your environment. I talk about the professional shows because most people have seen those as a lot of people's experience into it. They scare the hell out of themselves in abandoned buildings full of raccoons and rats and stuff that knock stuff over and scurry around. So that's very, very important to know your location and yeah, big part of debunking anything.
Hey, can you guys hear Casey right now? If he says something?
Now his microphone is muted.
Yeah, so he muted his so I could have mine on. So
Gotcha.
yeah. Can you hear him through mine or no?
Not really. You might have to hand signal and
Yeah.
mute, unmute, back and forth.
That's kind of hard because yeah, okay. Yeah, so the reason I ask is about debunking is because there's some investigators out there who like to fake evidence. And when they capture something immediately, they want to go ahead and say it's paranormal. But you really have to, dig deep, find the root of that. And I'm going to say if you can't figure out what's going on, if the condition of the building is good, and everything checks out, then you might be able to say that it was something paranormal. But it's a big thing that you have to look into. Not a lot
The
of
Zach
people.
Baggins ghost guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every episode chock full of evidence.
Mm-hmm. Like I
Yeah.
always say, if you don't debunk something and you go ahead and you release that footage, somebody's going to find it, and they'll point it out to you. So debunking is a big thing, I think.
Less is more.
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
too there's a difference. So if somebody is pointing it out to you, it's something that they noticed, that maybe it's something that the way they looked at it because they were able to take themselves out of the situation and look at it from a different point of view. And
Mm-hmm.
and if you're doing it in an educational purpose and in a nice manner and saying, hey, this is what I think it is, look, and this is
Yeah.
why, and then the team is able to accept that, then that's a great collaboration between teams, and that's a great way to share
Of course.
evidence. And I would appreciate that more than assuming that I have real evidence and it's not real evidence, because it takes away from the field and it takes away from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy my experiences, so
Of course. Of course. I think we all should
when
say
it's
that.
when it's spirit activity and when it's not,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
enjoy it all around.
Absolutely.
You don't want to muddy the waters saying everything is a ghost, and you got to have that intellectual integrity to take that feedback and
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
called,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's not really constructive criticism, but yes. So, another sensitive subject in the field, and there's a lot of different opinions on it. What are your thoughts about maybe using a Ouija board on an investigation? I know a lot of people think they're dangerous. What do you think?
Oh, we're digging up the dirt tonight.
Yeah, we are.
So here's the thing. Our team is not going to take a Ouija board into somebody's home and do it in there. That's just our team. That's how we work. Not judging anyone
Sure.
else.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because we feel that you don't know. It could be that 1% chance that something happens. And if it's going to affect somebody in their family, that's not right for us to bring that in. We're supposed to be going in there and helping them in a scary situation if they're already feeling scared.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I have done the Ouija board because I wanted to see. Do I think it's a good idea? Again, I'm not going to say no, but buyer beware. If you know what you're getting into and you know what you're, buyer beware. But I feel like people should not be buying it as a gift just to play around and
Sure.
do exactly what I did.
Yeah, you should
Everything
So
is a
no.
tool, and every tool has its situation.
Yes.
Right.
Now,
So we had
there.
used me and a friend used it in Gettysburg. And we didn't ask we weren't conjuring anything up. We were just asking if anyone is around that wanted to talk to us. And then that was that. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, I hadn't used it for like a billion years.
Yeah. Right. I've had some experiences myself. Like, a lot of people, I also played with the board several times just to see, because curiosity gets the best of you sometimes. So, you know, we used to take the Ouija board down to the park here in town and play it. And, there was a spirit over there who loved coming out and hanging out with us. And all of that. So we would go over there and we would chat, with the spirits and all that. And eventually, shit hit the fan and it became a tool that we no longer want to use, So that's just our preference. We prefer not to use it because it can be
Yeah.
dangerous, but I could say it's all about the person using it and what your intentions are. So, you know, it's
No,
all about how
I'm
you
I'm
use
gonna
Now,
it.
disagree with you on that, and I'm so sorry because you could have the best intentions in the world, and you could be wanting to talk to your grandma or your friend's grandma or your uncle or whoever, and something could come in and pretend to be that, or something could come in
Yeah.
and pretend to be something sweet, so that you want to come back and talk to it,
all of a
and it
sudden, Zozo's busted through like the Kool-Aid man.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I know they say intentions is everything, but sometimes even with the best intentions, you can pick up things that you don't want to pick up. So I don't mean to interrupt you with that. That's my thought on it.
No, you're good for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, um, I definitely do think that if it ever came down to it, to where we had to use one, I would definitely use one. But I've always told the team that if we don't know where the board has been, then we're not going to use it. Never buy a used Ouija board because you don't know what you're getting into. So we would buy a brand new one and crack it open right before we use it. So, we just want to be sure that we know where the board has been and what it's been used for. So I think I would use one if it all came down to it. But
Yeah.
other than that, I just personally prefer not to use one. So, yeah.
Semi-pro tip, make your own. You've got a better connection to it if you put it together with your own hands.
Hmm.
If it means something
I
to you.
yeah. I don't know. I think
Now,
I could go either way on it. I just don't think you should bring it into somebody else's home.
for
Very
sure.
true. Very
Now,
true.
I have a business use for a Ouija board. Hear me out. We go in on an abandoned house, we buy the thing, get 8 or 9 Ouija boards, open up a bunch of portals, throw them up in the attic and stuff, and then we've got a proving ground. We got a new ghost hunter training ground. Yeah,
Sounds exciting and like the
Yeah, it
next
does.
plot for the next Ghostbusters movie.
absolutely.
And 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 you got the car to go with it.
Oh yeah. The
Got a full-on Ghostbusters van. It's got the light on top. It plays the theme, everything. So
You do?
the full-on
oh
van to
yeah.
go with Ghostbusters movie. I like that idea.
Yep.
Oh, I
I
love that. Love that.
I want to bring that to investigations and you get that
Yep.
bad boy on camera. It's kind of a mobile workstation, mobile home
Hmm.
station for
Yep.
stuff where maybe we don't have power. I'm actually in the. I need to come up with a really good catchy name for it, but it's that same idea except it's a pull behind camper.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's cold here in Minnesota. Same with New York. Like, I don't want to be like setting up in some ice cold kitchen somewhere and freeze my butt off watching cameras and stuff. I want to have
Yeah.
somewhere I can have lights and heat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think of a good name, though, you let me know because I am nothing if not millennial. So puns and tacky stuff, and that's right where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
My
And
my brain is spinning. I'm thinking.
you'll you'll find out quick though on our investigations. It's not all the businessmen because when the camera's rolling, of course we want to act professional and we want to be professional and we want to do our job so we get it done effectively. But uh, hanging out with the team or whatever, it's everybody does what everybody does. There's so much shenanigans that goes on, so it's okay. You know, we're just a group of children.
I mean, that's how you keep it fun. Our group is the same way. There's a time to be serious, but then you need the times to kind of joke around and scare the shit out of each other.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the best part
Sorry for
about
cursing.
tonight,
I'm so sorry, little one.
she's heard a lot worse.
I'm trying to put it back, but it's not working.
Oh well, is what it is. uh,
Sorry.
the best part about tonight, when you said scare the shit out of everyone, it's a haunted trail, which I and three other of my members have worked the trail. The rest of them doesn't know the trail, so we know where we can hide, every little nook and cranny and everything. So we might try to
I
get a
love
few
that.
scares in on the team tonight. I can see
Nice.
Ashley shaking in his boots over there.
Oh yeah. Like it's full of ghosts.
Hey,
And
I
just
love that.
run.
That's awesome. Okay, so if let's steer away from the investigation side of the podcast right now, and let's talk a little bit about you being an author, because you do have some books out and all that. So, what made you want to write your first book?
I didn't want to write my first book.
Okay, how'd
I
that come
I
about?
share my friend. I shared my poetry, automatic writings. I put them into poetry. I
Yeah,
shared them with my friends. She's like, "You should write a book. You should submit them." And I'm like, "No."
yeah.
So I was afraid, and then I started sharing them in videos online on my Instagram. And an old friend happened to see them, and we went from there and helped me get my book published, and that's how it started.
There you go. That's cool.
That's what's up.
That's cool. So, with
People
sharing
thought
that
that I
going,
should do it because it might help somebody else. I'm sorry if you were talking, it wasn't talking
no,
at
you're good.
first.
No, go ahead.
To see if somebody else had like the similar experience, then maybe it would kind of help them and not feel so alone.
Yeah. We gotta drop some links for you
Yes.
underneath
Yeah.
this episode. I'm trying to fill out a library here.
Right.
Can I
Yeah.
get a
So,
signed hardback?
I don't. Yes, I don't have a hardback yet. You could
yeah.
get a signed soft one.
If you do have any links you would like us to share, we'd love to share them for you. That way,
Do I?
people. Go
A
ahead.
Do you want me
signed
to tell
thumb
you
drive
now?
with the digital file on it?
Yeah. um. You want the links now?
No, you can send them to me after the show. I
Oh,
can post them
okay.
on social media. No, you don't have to do it
Oh,
right
we don't
now.
want people to click away now, you know.
Yeah, right.
They're
Don't
gonna
Well,
don't go.
they click. They clicked
yeah.
away when they seen. They clicked away when they seen the team name. We're not interested. No,
Well,
see it. Yeah, but okay. So after getting that first book published, what made you want to continue to write? I mean, has it always been a passion to write, or is it something that you like to do?
it's it started well. No, it started with the poetry, and then I kept getting asked so much about the experience, so I was like, okay, so I guess I'll write a book about the experience to kind of explain where that came from, and then I have more poetry that um goes with the first book that's coming in, first book that came out.
Hmm.
And then I have poetry that I do on my own that's not like spirit poetry. It's more horror poetry.
Okay.
It's just something I don't know. started doing after my attachment. Really, I wrote poetry when I was younger,
Hmm.
and I won a pumpkin in second grade for having the best ghost story for Halloween.
Hey, you won a pumpkin.
Maybe it was meant to be.
There you go. Yeah.
It all starts with the pumpkin. No, that's super
So
cool. And you've recently put out a new one, from what I'm taking, right? I mean, recently
it's
this
coming
week.
out soon.
It's coming out
Ooh.
soon.
The
Okay.
the poetry book came out last October 31st.
Oh, okay.
The new one was supposed to be out this Halloween, but it got deleted halfway. So I had to start it over, really.
Ooh.
Don't you just
Which
love
I think
that?
was a good thing. I hated it in the moment and I cursed and he didn't want to know me.
Hmm.
But looking back on it, I think that it helped me look back at it and put a lot more into it that I wasn't originally going to add to it. And I feel like what I added to it was really important.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right on.
There you go. Sometimes things are just better the second go round. So maybe it was meant to be.
Exactly.
But when something like that happens, I'm gonna bring up experience that I went through, of things being deleted halfway through. We were on an investigation, and all of our SD cards had filled up because we would just have a bunch of additional SD cards, and once one was full in the camera, we'd put it aside and pop a new one in. And then once they're all full, you go to your command center and transfer everything onto the computer or whatever. And halfway through transferring everything, I deleted half of the footage by accident, and I couldn't get it back. And I hated myself because of it. But afterwards, we were able to film a lot more great footage. And luckily, what I deleted, there wasn't a lot of activity. So, it wasn't a huge deal, but it was upsetting because, we had been there for, I want to say, a good 3 or 4 hours already. So that was a lot of time put in, so have you ever went through that while editing or going through your footage of an investigation, or do you not go through the footage?
No. Oh God. Okay. So the founder of our group is super organized. So all of the analysis and uploads and stuff go through him, and then he gives out like a USB or he'll send it on a drive, Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is backed up. Has there been times where there has been a malfunction like you've had with a thing? Yes, but it's usually when it's transferring to the USB and he still has it backed up on the thing. So,
There we go.
you know, I, I don't
So
know. I mean, but even with my book, I had it backed up on two separate things on the same laptop, but for whatever reason, all those got deleted too.
It's
wow.
tech that it happens. Stuff just
Yeah,
happens.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It like burped or something. Forgot
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. There's. Oh, it's Victor. Welcome. And we got love from Paraflix and Funhouse. Hope
All
we're all
right.
looking forward to rewatching. Welcome. I can't see who you are, so I apologize, but um, we'll definitely be reviewing comments after the show. Just thank you for tuning in. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, mistakes happen. You can't beat yourself up about it because everything happens for a reason most of the time.
Right.
And when it doesn't happen for a reason and it happens just because, well, then, you're upset. And yes, I was upset when I deleted the footage, but like I said, luckily it wasn't, you know, um, a lot of important key places of investigating or evidence or whatever. So it wasn't a huge deal, but everything happens, so or things happen. So but yeah, I think it's awesome that you're into so much different things, investigating mediumship. Let's talk about that a little bit about the mediumship. How did you
But
realize
before we run into that, there was one last thing I had about losing data.
How rude for interrupting.
There's a saying I came up with many years ago. The dumb man doesn't think he's going to make a mess. The smart man takes steps to keep from making a mess. The wise man prepares for the cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to mess it up. You just got to take steps to clean it up afterwards. Got to be ready.
Yes. And that's insightful, and that's a good way to look at it. So
I should put on glasses when I say that, make me look smarter. Oh, like,
yes. I don't know. It's just on my end, you're just nagging. I can hear you perfectly fine, but like your video is not matching up with when you're talking. So the
that's
glasses
weird.
the glasses would make no sense for me because you're lagging. So it'd be kind of funny.
Oh, now I'm going to move my lips without saying anything, make big gestures. But
Sure, why not?
yeah, exactly.
Nope, leave them alone. So, but before Ashley rudely interrupted me with this very smart, insightful comment.
Hey, I love Command Center. I'm stealing that. I haven't been with these guys very long, so like there's some real gold coming up here that when I get my special ghost show on the Ocho or something, I'm totally stealing Command Center.
Nice.
Yeah, so Ashley is here to use me. No, I'm kidding.
Oh dang, and he disappeared.
Quit.
Oh no.
He quit.
It's like my secrets.
That
Dang,
was
rage
such great
quit.
timing.
Sorry about that.
I think the
guys.
kid ran off with the phone.
That was really good
Oh,
timing.
no, now I can't hear anyone.
Oh.
No.
Rage quit,
Oh, no.
flip the table.
I can't hear nothing.
Oh no, you can't hear us.
Just like podcasting, the same. Just like a Ouija board, it's the same in podcasting. Before you walk away, you have to say goodbye. It's just
Yeah.
it's just good
The rule.
podcasting.
Otherwise,
Yeah, he's having a little technical difficulties at the moment. The phone kicked him out of the podcast, and now he's having issues.
Oh no.
I can't hear anyone.
Now you can.
Are we talking?
Well, I can hear through Casey's computer, so I guess that's fine.
Gotcha. All right.
So, but on the bright side, I can't. You're not nagging for me anymore. So go ahead and put the glasses on. It'll make sense now.
There you go. I'm afraid the only spooks we're gonna find tonight are in the machines we're trying to use.
Well, now, you still got your volume on?
Do you guys have this kind of tech trouble in New York? Is this a cold
You
Minnesota
can turn it up
equipment
because
thing?
I can't hear mine.
I don't think so.
You just want to have words muted.
I'm trying to work on ruggedifying. Screw it, ruggedifying some of the hardware we use. And one of the things is ice cold batteries start doing weird shit to equipment. And it's the same with internet, I think. There's no reason something goes bad, but there it goes. Are you in a hotel, Marcus?
Yes, we are.
Hotels are, as a network engineer of 10 years, I can safely say that hotel networks are hot garbage. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Got to call the Ghostbusters, the tech end of the Ghostbusters to come in here and fix the streaming for everyone. Anyone watching? Chat, you got any since we lost our person, chat have any questions or comments, concerns, ideas? We'll try to
Oh, there she is.
get them in real time. I can't tell how many people are actually watching.
I got lost. I'm sorry.
It's your turn now, apparently. Jeez.
I was like, oh no. But I left on my own because all of a sudden all the sound went out and it like froze and it wouldn't do anything. So I was like, maybe if I go and come back in. Sorry,
It's working
guys.
now.
I also quit. I threw my hands up. Because I
So
won.
unprofessional. Johnny's got a fucking mullet. What kind of fly-by-night bullshit is this?
You know, I kind of like it.
It is my, like, I'm a goofy looking person. So the mullet just kind of like, I get it up in a pompadour. It's a little short right now, but I get that pomp up there and it gives somebody something to look at besides the rest of it. Like, yeah.
I would totally have to agree with him there.
Oh. What was that?
I didn't hear what you said.
The noise cancellation's getting him.
He said put the glasses on and make you look better.
Does it? What do you think?
That just made him so happy.
What do you think? Do I look better with glasses?
Still
weird.
weird.
Glasses. I enjoy it both ways.
Oh, well, thank you. I like podcasts because I've been told I've got a face for radio.
Oh my God.
But I've also been told I've got a voice that makes people really hope my handwriting is good. But, you know, got to compromise somewhere.
Hey, you gotta meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be on video and audio.
There we go. So, okay. Let's go into a little bit about mediumship. When did you first realize that you had the gift of mediumship?
I guess after my experience when I was like 7 years old and I had that experience. Although my mom was very much those are your imaginary friends or that's not real, it's your imagination. My dad, on the other hand, they were divorced, so I didn't see him as much, but he was more on the, hey, that's probably a ghost, and I think that you might have something here.
Yeah.
You see that, Marcus?
The comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, well, that's awesome. So, one thing that some mediums run into is they think their mediumship is sometimes pessimistic. Can it be a pest to be able to, you know, hear, feel what we can't?
Did you say can it be a pest to be able to hear what you can't?
Yes.
Sometimes it can be annoying if a lot's coming at me at once. But you know, for the most part, I could usually be like, "Give me a minute, like calm down, guys," or one at a time. You know, it could be annoying if I'm having an experience. I don't know if that was me or not. And other people aren't hearing it, and I'm like, but you don't hear that, but you don't hear that, and then I feel like I'm losing.
That's got to be kind of disconcerting. Just walking down the street and all of a sudden just, hey.
That's exactly it. Nailed it.
You know,
Echo.
I feel bad. I don't mean to laugh. Don't get upset. It's all a good time. It's a good time. It's
Now,
good.
now I'm getting goofy. Spill the beans. Perverted ghosts? Ones that only show up while you're peeing or something?
Oh, I had a perverted ghost at Gettysburg at a P&P.
And you can't arrest, like, you can't, like, file a restraining order or something. Maybe, what would be the spirit hunter equivalent of a restraining order? Would it be like a salt circle or
You get one of those salt guns that you shoot the bugs with.
Oh yes. That's some Ghostbusters shit
Like
right
a
there.
taser. Just
For sure.
Give them a little shock.
Why is your bathroom door got runes on it? You know, long story, just why is there, like I asked the ghost during investigations, is there anything else you would like to convey since we seem to be running out of capacity to communicate as far as internet goes tonight?
I think it was great experience. I do
Maybe
believe
we
in
should move
ghosts.
this to Spirit Box, because it
That
seems
sounds
like that'd be, we get longer hits on the Spirit Box than we are through the internet tonight.
Okay. You're funny. You're hurting my body. I don't laugh. This is not normal for me. I don't like it.
That's what I try to bring to the paranormal world. A lot of people get really stuffy and uptight, and like, no, this is not only am I a millennial, so that's just kind of built into me, but it should be a fun experience. And if you believe in all of the energy of it, like having fun and laughing and getting some energy into the room, not only helps bring up the energy in the room, but also no Victorian ghost wants to communicate with some stuffy guy standing in the corner. You know, they entertained. You speak to them like they're there.
Exactly.
And if you walk in like, hey, here I am, let's do the thing. I got the BP squawk box, let's do it. You know, it's more likely to get some interaction, some engagement, or at least give them a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Liz.
Okay, I don't know. It seems my mic isn't working again, so just wanted to be sure.
Probably because mine muted.
Yeah, we got you in there-ish.
There is too much going on.
Wear a hat tonight. It keeps cold.
I'm so sorry. I have no idea what
That's
you
okay.
said.
We're looking at spiders.
Is there any more format to the show tonight? I know we've hit about an hour.
So we have covered pretty much everything that we normally talk about. Again, if there's anybody out there that has questions for Shannon or the rest of our team, you can feel free to reach out and ask anything. But we have reached the end of my boring question list. No, I'm kidding. They're not boring. I mean,
can I show off my doohickey?
Yes.
What's your? What are you showing off?
This fella right here.
Nice face.
And then I pull out a penis. That's. So my first investigation, I'm like, oh, hey, cool, a REM pod. I've never seen one before. And they're like, Casey's like, be careful with that. That's $180. And I'm like, what is $180 about a theremin kit and a battery? So over the last 3 weeks, I put together this fella.
You built that?
Yeah, I 3D printed it, built the electronics into it, designed it for really ruggedness. This thing is heavy. Everything is isolated and cocooned in its own bits. So you can toss this. People worry about ghosts knocking stuff off of buildings. I'm more worried about the corporeal klutz, like knocking it off the side of a building. So I built this thing super strong for $40.
Wow.
And it is a fully featured, well-working REM pod. I'm not going to turn it on and squeak and squeal out the whole podcast here. Audio would hate that.
Well, he did with that.
Yeah, I build these things for $40. It's pink because I ran out of blue and black filament 3D printing. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess the actual one I take out and prototype test is going to be bright pink.
Or salmon color.
Is it salmon on the screen?
It looks salmon, yeah.
Ooh, spooky salmon. I gotta come up with fun color names for that. But yeah, it fits really good in the hand. It's shaped like a flask. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you. And like I said, 40, 50 bucks to make one of these and about 20 hours to print it. So, yeah, keep that in mind. The Vortex Investigation Pod.
Very cool.
Nice. That's cool. And we get to use it too, so.
Yeah, it gets its inaugural run tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good luck.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, Shannon, I have to say it's been absolutely amazing. I've seen you on other people's shows, and I know we've had this scheduled for a while, but it's been fun having you on. We're gonna wrap up so we can get into the investigation. But it's been great. I do want to say that it's open doors. So if you ever want to come back and just hang out on another show, you're welcome to come back. Just hang out with us. So thank you for sharing your insight on the field and the state of New York, and all that. And I just want to remind everybody that if you're having any paranormal experiences, feel free to reach out and get taken care of. I have background noise. I'm sorry.
Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem.
It was fun.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely.
And next time, if you come back to the show, I'll be more organized on my questions. I don't know what happened tonight. I'm generally good at my questions, so.
Your questions were fun. Oh, hello. Your questions were fun.
Good.
They were lovely. They were great questions.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I do want to thank you very much. And like I said, open door, just reach out to me or I can reach out to you if we get an opening.
Absolutely.
We'll get you back on the show. So we'll let you get back to the convention. Hope you have a great time. We'll have to fill you in how the investigation went. So
Okay, awesome.
You can see the entire investigation coming in April. It's the beginning of a brand new season of Minnesota Spirit Hunters. I'm super excited. We're, premiering Casey and we're premiering Beth and Johnny and everybody on season 3. So it's gonna be great.
Awesome.
So all right,
Can't wait.
hopefully you have a good night, and everybody else, thank you all for your support for this show and all the past shows and all the continued shows.
Last question I hear on all the big boy podcasts.
Yes.
How do we get a hold of you?
Oh, yay!
Yes.
You can find me on Facebook as Velma Von Dinkenstein, the Queen of Darkness. On Instagram as a dream_within.
That
Or
is
you can visit my
hardcore.
website. Huh?
Velma Von Dinkenstein.
Velma Von Dinkenstein. And then, my website at dreamwithinascream.com.
Excellent.
I have to ask, where did the nickname of the Queen of Darkness come from?
It's because I'm always I don't want to get into it.
Okay, that's fine.
But you always have to say it with the grit every time, no matter what's going on. The Queen of Darkness.
Queen of Darkness,
With the
darling.
lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lightning and thunder.
You say a bunch of lightning hits from the sky. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we appreciate you coming on. We'll see you guys back here next week with an all new episode and a brand new state. And I don't remember which state it is, but I'll remember after the show. But I don't have the answer for you right now. My last question for you.
Did it sizzle out? Everything okay?
No, that was
It lit on
fire.
fire. It exploded.
There was a scream and then a sizzle.
With the echo, that's the spookiest thing I've heard all night. We're going to have to cut that in as a stinger.
Yes. Oh, that's good. So my last question tonight for you would be, what is one piece of advice for a newcomer on the show?
Piece of advice?
Yes.
Bring a headset.
Okay. Not everything is a ghost. So find your source. But also, be careful what you are doing. Like, if it's something, make sure it's something you really want to do, because you never know what you can connect with. That's my advice to you. Also, treat spirits with respect, how you would treat your friends, your family, or a stranger on the street. You want to be a nice person, and why would anything want to talk to you if you were being a butthole?
Right.
So don't be a butthole.
One thing is the way I look at it is, and I think John, you mentioned something earlier. If you go into an investigation with a chip on your shoulder, do you think spirits gonna want to talk to you? I don't think so. So
I think I know what you said, and it's the chip on the shoulder and not communicating.
yeah.
I also thought I almost had a stroke because I was I'm sorry. The volume went really loud and really little.
Yeah, just a bunch of technical difficulties tonight. So, but yeah, I mean, just an example of, if you go into an investigation. Okay, I made my point. We're good.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we hope you have a good night. And if you ever want to come back, we'd love to have you. We
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for coming on.
I feel like it's Cook's Pops. Even with the
All right. Well, if nothing else, I got to get on the road to get to the investigation
have
site.
fun, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Good luck tonight. Bye.
All right. For the rest of you, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. What you could make out of it. We hope you guys enjoyed the show and what you could make out of it. And we'll see you guys next week with an all new episode and a brand new state. Till then, we hope you guys have a great night. And as always, happy hunting.